Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Marcus from Team Takeover, and today I'm coming at you with a deck profile of my Super Saiyan God Son Goku deck after Crossworlds is released. I first off want to apologize that it's been a couple weeks since I put anything up. Reason being, last Friday my mother got married, so I was in the middle of the lab working on a deck to bring to you guys that would be original. I am going to profile all the Mecha Frieza stuff here in a bit. But to be perfectly honest, I do not want to play Mecha Frieza, not because of the stereotype, well, I don't want to really be like everybody else, but I don't want to play Mecha Frieza because I think Mecha Frieza is incredibly dangerous, and while he's good on the one hand, I think there's a lot of problems with him on the other, and I think that this deck actually addresses those problems very well. This deck is going to be Soul Striker Apes, or Soul Striker Donkey Kong, or as my wife and I like to call him, Soul Striker Grapes, because great apes, grapes. But bottom line is I think that I've actually created a deck that can stand against Mecha Frieza in all of its variants. And this is the one of the battle-tested prototypes that I built with. This deck does have a problem against basic ape removal because the main offense of the engine is apes, but this deck and this leader particularly, who I am now convinced will be a great leader no matter what set it's released, as long as blue has good cards, which we do have good blue cards, and can have a archetype or a color splash into it that allows it to play in a really good way. I think that this leader is just always going to be relevant, and I'm now more convinced that he's still relevant. So without further ado, let me get into the deck profile. So as always, if you guys don't know what Super Saiyan God Son Goku does, when this card attacks, you can choose up to one of your blue energy and switch to active mode. And then when your life is 4 or less, you can draw 2 to awaken. And on this side, SSGSS Son Goku the Soul Striker has a permanent that if you have 5 or more energy, this card gains 5,000 power during your turn. And then when this card attacks, draw 1 card and then choose up to 2 of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. And I will talk more about how this card's relevant when I get to the yellow section of the deck, and what this card's key, why this untapped blue energy is just absolutely so broken with the apes. So yeah, let's get into it. So to start off with the blue, we play 3 Raging Spirit Son Gohan. I'd like to play this card at 3, but due to ratios of space, this deck's incredibly tight. So wiggle room to edit cards is very, very minimal. But Raging Spirit Son Gohan is just super great because we play the Absolute Defense Great Ape King Vegeta. This card comes in for free, which is just absolutely crazy. We can either protect our leader, protect our apes, and give ourselves another body on board. I wish I could play that at 4, but 3 is all I can fit in for the space. And then for Defense Wins Championships, we got Wiss's Coercion. This card is absolutely fantastic. Between the apes blocking and this card, it is extremely hard for them to get at your life, especially once you've awakened and has started establishing your blockers. So like, this is just free. This is kind of like an option select. It's like, I for sure can't take that, and I do not want to block it, because it would be too much. Like today, somebody had the Broken Limits Son Goku face up. I wasn't going to block it because they had attacked like 4 other times. The card had been pumping itself to like 45,000. There's no reason for me to block that. There's no reason for me to take Triple Strike. I'm just going to negate that. So like, that's kind of what I mean, which is just crazy. I also had a game today where I had 3 of this card and 4 other apes on board. Like, how do you lose that game? Besides decking out or something, like, or some absurd win condition, I don't know. But they were just never going to be able to get to my life. So Wiss's Coercion is just absolutely great and fantastic. I love it. Next, we play 4 Boost Attack Piccolo. This card is obligatory. You cannot play the Kibito Kai one. For the simple fact that Boost Attack Piccolo automatically draws me a card, and if the card I draw is either the Great Ape Prince Vegeta or another Great Ape like Bardock or the King Vegeta, it's an extra free 10k power boost on the battle with my King Vegeta face up. So I really think that this is the obligatory one because missing the draw is too impactful. And bouncing Shugesh back to hand sucks. So, yeah, Boost Attack Piccolo is just the way to go. Next, we play 4 Energy Boosted Majin Buu. This card's fantastic, especially in the mirror match of any ape variant. Because when I swing with my apes and I put this on there, if they block, they have to waste 10k, and they'll have to do that every single time, which is just absolutely absurd, actually, because it dwindles their hand extremely fast. Or then they lose their greatest source of offense, which is their apes. So I absolutely love this card. Then we play 4 Senzubin. I'm not really sold that Senzubin is as great as it was, but I still think that it's good enough. Senzubin is really great in this deck because it helps you extend into the proper setup that you need. But once you get there, Senzubin can either be extra combo fodder, further extension, or energy. And most likely, if you see it turn 1, it's a good card to put in energy. It's not that pivotal anymore, I feel. And with Soul Striker refunding you the 2 in this variant, it's more than enough. So I absolutely love Senzubin, and I think that it's still great. It doesn't have as much defensive authority as it used to, though. It really seems that with Pan and other decks, they're able to get to 20k very easy. Like, all the apes are all 20k plus, and Fearless Pan bumping up all the GT and whatever cards are also on board. They generally get to around 20k too. So 2 of these is impactful. One of them is kind of suspect right now. So that's kind of what I mean by Bean's kind of lost its value a little bit. But other than that, I think that Bean's fantastic in this deck. And it's a really good charge source and a really good blue target for us. Next is the card that breaks the deck in half. Well, this is one of the cards that breaks it. Results of Training. So basically, this deck never has to attack the opponent's leader. Primarily because any attacks they're doing to me is self-awakening me in a lot of ways. Like, I know that's kind of like basic game logic. But getting to me to 5 life does suck, like, a lot. If I cannot get past the 5 life and awaken, I have a problem. But if I do get to 5 life and I can awaken with, like, results, I'm winning the game. Because it doesn't even matter that I can use my Boost Attack Piccolos. What we really want is the refund 2, and I'll talk more about that with the next card. And Results of Training just helps us get there. So whether we're at 8 life or at 5, this card is fantastic and obligatory. Like, you have to play Results. And then 4 of the most broken card ever made in the game so far. March of the Great Apes. I cannot explain how stupid this card is, especially in this variant. March is, if you don't know what it does, you choose up to 2 Great Apes with a cost of 4 or less in your hand and you play them, and then you draw 2 cards. And the reason why I even observed playing this leader at all is because I watched Mecha Frieza take a life in Mecha Apes to reduce this card's cost by 2. And when I swing with this leader, that's exactly what I'm doing here. And the difference between this leader and Mecha is that it doesn't have to kill itself to do it. So that's like super, super good. And I'm going to spin it to you this way. If I have this with a Great Ape or 2 live in hand, and I'm at 5 energy, I'll just show you a combo. Results, draw 2 to awaken, activate March, summon my ape or apes, draw 2, swing with leader, untap 2, draw 1. I just drew 5 cards there and summoned out some big apes. And usually by turn 4, you have the Absolute Defense King Vegeta placed on board. So then now all those apes have barrier, and they're going to be all blockers, and they're just going to be nuts. So, yeah, this card's just absurd. I don't think they should have made it what it was, or it should have more cost or something. And the fact that it's 1 yellow, oh, that's just crazy. I can't get over that. Not even like 1 specified cost of yellow. That's just nuts. So, this card's fantastic, super busted, super broke. Next we play 4 Youthful Bulma. Youthful Bulma is super good because it's basically like Energy Boost and Majin Buu. It gives us more turn 1 plays, so it's either this, Planet Vegeta, Majin Buu, or we just charge an energy and pass with like Whis or something in hand. So, and the fact that it's a 0 cost 5k combo, for the same reasons Energy Boost Majin Buu is really good for the deck, because in the 8 mirror, it makes my cards stronger and they have to waste 10k to get over it. Then we play 4 of the probably second most broken card ever made, Planet Vegeta. I do not understand what they were thinking when they made this card either. Planet Vegeta searches for any Saiyan with a cost of 4 or less in your deck, of any color, and adds it to hand, which is just crazy in of itself, which means I can search out the Gohan that plays itself late game or early game to charge it for energy. Secondly, and the second effect, which is the most busted effect of all, is that it untaps all Great Apes at the end of my turn. Meaning I can swing with them and then it untaps them, which is just crazy. And this card's fantastic. It just searches for all missing pieces in the deck. Then we play 4 of Lord of the Great Ape, King Vegeta. This card's fantastic because it searches out any missing Great Apes that we need. It searches for a Great Ape that has an energy cost of 5 or less, so it can either get us our Prince or King or Bardock. Really good. And then we play 4 Great Ape Prince Vegeta. This card is your main line of offense, as well as a main line of defense. It is a 20k crit blocker. And when you play it, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then add a Great Ape to your hand and discard a card. And it's when it's either played or comboed with. So this card is fantastic. I cannot express enough how good this card is in this deck. And basically, you don't even want to start swinging your opponent's life until it's on board. And then they just start wasting card after wasting card after wasting card to prevent this card's attack. And then stand because of Planet Vegeta. Just absolutely crazy. Then we play 4 Bardock Will of Iron. I absolutely love this card. Although it is not obligatory, you could play Tora in its place. So for all the budget-friendly players out there, yes, you will have to get this promo. It is very key. But you could also play this deck with like Fasha and Tora instead. I do have to say it will not be as good. But Tora is an excellent replacement for Bardock. He is a 20k double strike blocker. And his auto is irrelevant because you would have to have Bardock to evolve into him. It's when you combo with him. It's like some of the other apes. But Bardock's really good because he helps us put extra pressure on our opponent to block or defend against him when they have 2 life, which Mecha puts itself down to 2 all the time. And so Bardock's fantastic for that reason, but Tora is a very excellent substitute and replacement for this if you don't have the money or you just haven't got these in your promo packs yet. And then lastly, we play 3 Absolute Defense Great Ape King Vegeta. This card is the MVP. If the 2 cards I talked about before, like the backbreaking results, the most broken card ever made, March, and the absolute nutty cards like Prince Vegeta or whatever, this is the cherry on top. This is the epitome of stupidity in the deck. So this guy gives all yellow Saiyans on the board barrier, meaning that your opponent cannot choose them for effects. So Kale, no. Mass Saiyan, no. Other Mass Saiyan guy that came out to 4-drop, no. Gohan, no. Beerus, no. Like, it just gives complete barrier to all of my cards, so you can't choose them. If that weren't bad enough, it is a 25k double strike that evolves for 3 energy instead of 4, and to top it off, it reduces the combo cost of all Saiyan cards in hand, including these apes, by 1, meaning they are 0 cost 10k cards, now played for free. This card can only do one thing more in block. Like, what doesn't this card do? Block, that's it. Like, this card's absolutely insane. Fantastic card. And due to space constraints, we have to run it at 3. If not, we'd have to play less Gohan. And due to the blue energy necessity, we have to play Gohan at 3. But otherwise, I'd be playing 4 of this and 4 of Gohan if we had 52 cards available to play. But this card is absolutely insane, and I love this card. And I think it is the fantastic MVP of the deck. So I will talk more about this deck in a future discussion video, but that's it for my Soul Striker list. I've been in the lab for the last couple of weeks actually working on this deck. So let me know what you guys think about it down below. And this is Marcus from Team Takeover. I will see you next time. Later.